Please stand by for our broadcast from the National Emergency Warning System.
G'day everybody, and welcome to War Thunder's first epilogue for August 2020. We're going to start off with the Akebono Destroyer Escort. This is a new Tier 2 destroyer that will be joining the Japanese tech tree in the upcoming update. The Akebono was a destroyer escort built for the newly formed JMSDF and was amongst the first warships domestically produced by Japan after World War II. Soon captains will have a chance to command this unique warship, arriving on War Thunder Naval Forces as part of the upcoming major update. The pros has a quick firing main gun, or main guns, good mobility, large crew complement. As you can see here, it's got the two main guns auto firing, front and rear. What it doesn't have are any cons, and I suspect this may be very vulnerable to taking damage as there is completely zero protection for these guns. At Tier 2 you're going to be facing a lot of 40mm and fast firing, quick firing guns. Even 20mm and stuff like that are going to make a mess of these guns. And depending on the armor model, Japan is not known for well armored ships, so that may be the cons. Following the end of World War II, Japan was prohibited from having its own military. However, with the event of the Cold War in the years following the end of World War II, Japan was once again permitted to raise a small force for self-defense purposes. As a result, the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, the JMSDF, was formed in 1954. However, the newly formed Navy needed new ships to be able to conduct its tasks effectively and to gain experience in the construction of subsequent ships in the future. As a result, already in 1953, plans were being laid down in the construction of 3 new destroyer escorts, with 2 separate designs differing primarily in the propulsion system that was being used. Akebono, as a single ship of the batch, was used as traditional steam propulsion, was laid down in December 1954 and commissioned in 1956, becoming amongst the first domestically produced Japanese military vessels to enter service after World War II. She served 20 years with the JMSDF before being decommissioned in 76. In 81, the ship was taken apart for scrap and officially stricken from the Naval Register in 1986. In War Thunder, Akebono will be a new vessel awaiting captains in the lower ranks of the Japanese naval tree following the release of the upcoming update, being effectively the sister ship of Ikazuki, a vessel already familiar to some captains. Akebono offers its aspiring commanders better performance in combat thanks to improved mobility and higher endurance than Ikazuki. Much like its sister ship, Ikazuki is equipped with a pair of 3-inch 76mm cannon, compromising its primary armament. Having an automated reload mechanism gives these guns a very high rate of fire of up to 50 rounds per minute. In fact, the only time the captain of the ship will experience prolonged reloads is when the ready use ammo storage needs to be replenished, or when switching ammunition types. Speaking of which, Akebono can fire 3 types of ammunition: standard HE rounds, AP rounds to deal with more armoured targets, cruisers and destroyers, and ATVT for dealing with threats in the air. In addition to the main guns, Akebono is also fitted with twin 40mm Bofors mountings, located at the rear section of the ship's superstructure. Although handy for dealing with enemy aircraft and smaller vessels, captains are well advised to further bolster their AA capabilities with the use of the aforementioned HEVT rounds. Given that the Bofors guns, apart from being few in number, also have shorter range and require direct hits to effectively take down targets. The main difference which sets Akebono apart from its sister ship Ikazuki is the different propulsion systems, namely being outfitted with traditional steam propulsion system instead of a diesel one. Akebono can generate 18,000 horsepower and is thus able to reach a higher top speed of 28 knots or 52 km per hour. Furthermore, Akebono also bolsters a slightly increased complement consisting of 193 sailors, compared to Ikazuki's 153. Although not seeming like a major improvement at first glance, these few extra crew members may make the difference in battle when it comes down to the wire in the heat of combat. So those of you who already have the Ikazuki will know how this ship is going to perform. It's going to be nice to fill that early role and assist with the grind for early Japan. As is any tree who receives an extra vehicle at those low tiers. Additional information I was able to find: 2 3-inch caliber guns, 4 40mm AA guns, so it should have 2 twin mountings, and it has 1 Hedgehog anti-submarine mortar, which you can see here on the front of the ship. It has 8 depth charge throwers and 1 depth charge rack. They may or may not be on the vehicle. Quite an impressive looking ship. Not a lot of firepower, but in its position in the tree it should be quite formidable. So I hope you have learned something from the video and have gotten something to look forward to. Tell me, do you look forward to this ship? Do you play Japan, or would something like this maybe interest you in starting to play Japan? What are your thoughts on it? See you in game. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe.